So I talked to you a couple of times about this particular vestment that I've been working on for well over a year. Um, this was a Corpus vestment. This is what they originally looked like. I received a piece of a vestment. Um, Not this is exactly what I received. It has a beautiful corpus of Christ. You'll notice the top and the right side are missing as well as the bottom. And this was a sample that Benziger sent out with their salesmen to go around to parishes and to drum up business for their company. They would just send a piece of the vestment as a sample. Well, this particular gentleman has over the years bought a number of these samples and he wants them made into vestments. So this is what he gave me. He very specifically wanted this particular angel fabric, this here in the background, and he wanted this trim. The problem is that the trim is no longer available and neither is the fabric. So the first thing that I had to do was have the fabric made up. And this is, you can see here a sample of the new fabric on the old fabric, and they match exactly. The colors are close. I must have gone through 10 different printings of fabric to get it this close, and that was as close as I could get. I tried other trims that were close to what he had. This is one particular trim. It looks very good with it, but he wanted the original trim. So I did a number of videos showing you how I made the trim, how I embroidered it on ribbon, so that I could get the exact design. Then I took the trim and put it down on the angel fabric with the piece and the pieces that I embroidered to fill in the extra around the outside to see what it looked like. I sent this to the gentleman, and I also sent him a picture of it with, I also suggested that it would look good not on this fabric, but with red silk behind it. And since I didn't hear from him, I went ahead. Well, actually, I did hear from him. He said that he liked this, but the priest liked the red. So I went ahead and put the red behind it. And this is what it looks like with the red silk behind it. On the left side is the original trim I just laid down. And on the right side is the trim that I made just to see what the difference was. I cut the corpus off of the other angel fabric, and I kept all of the trim. And he wanted me to use as much of the old trim as possible. So on the here's a close-up of what the new trim next to the angel fabric and the silk looks like. He also wanted this particular Sacred Heart on the front of the vestment. Now this is done with sequins, and that's not something that I like to work with. So I did it with metallic thread instead. And this is what the design looks like with the metallic thread. So here you can see what the front of the vestment looks like with the Sacred Heart on it, and the new angel fabric, which I had done on satin, with the red silk for the front, a burgundy lining fabric, very close to what the red silk was. This is a close-up of the Sacred Heart, which is done. I did it on a velvet. Here's the original trim, and you can see the new trim at the side. They're very close. The new trim is a little bit smaller because I couldn't get the ribbon that other size, and the edge trim, of course, is very small. So I used the original trim around the neck and where it was joined. There was just enough to do that. This is what the back looks like. Again, with the original trim around the neck, the new trim around the pieces. You can see the embroidery is now finished on the ends of the crosses. This top, side, and bottom. And this is what the finished vestment looks like. There you can see on the right side where the old meets the new there. And the beautiful corpus with the gold thread behind it, which I think sticks out a lot better now with the red silk as opposed to just the gold fabric. I used an interlining in this because the satin is a little flimsy. I mean, it's a little thin. So I thought it needed a little bit more body because of the heavy embroidery that was on it. And so I used a muslin interlining in it. So here's some pictures of the back, the way it is now, and the front.